To do a 3 by 3 determinant using diagonals, the first thing you do requires no mathematical ability whatsoever. You rewrite the first two columns on the outside of the matrix to the right. So the 1, 2, negative 2 column on the left gets rewritten right here, and the 3, negative 1, 2 column gets written right here. You do not rewrite the third column. I've put this on a slide that has squares to help us stay relatively organized. And if you have a graph paper notebook, you can be using the squares to help keep you organized there as well. That requires no mathematical ability. We are going to get the same answer doing this that we would get using expansion by minors. Magically. We are going to start in the upper left-hand corner just like we did with expansion by minors, but we're going to do something completely different. We are going to take a diagonal from the upper left-hand corner, and we are going to multiply those three numbers together. 1 times negative 1 times 3, and we're going to write that down. Then we are going to move next door to the 3, and we're going to do the same thing. And we are going to add it to the first number we got. 3 times 1 times negative 2 is negative 6. And then we're going to do it again with the negative 2. Negative 2 times 2 times 2 is negative 8. And at that point, we are going to stop and add those three numbers together. No, we are not done. That was the front 9, to use a golf analogy. Now we're going to do the back 9. We're going to start in the upper right, and we're going to come back in. So we're going to go like that. 3 times 2 times 3 is 18. I'm basically going to start another one below it. 1 times 1 times 2 is 2. And negative 2 times negative 1 times negative 2 is negative 4. And we add those numbers up and get 16. And so now we have two numbers. The first addition gave us negative 17. The second addition gave us 16. We subtract those two numbers, giving us a final answer of negative 33. Okay, so let's try again. 5, negative 1, 2, 2, negative 3, 5, 3, 2, negative 3. Step 1, write the first two columns on the outside. I try to keep them, like I said, I don't make them too small, so when I make my diagonals, I can make straight lines instead of having things too cramped together. So here I go. 5 times negative 3 times negative 3 is 45. You should be able to do most of these if you know your times tables. You should be able to do most of them in your head. Plus negative 1 times 5 times 3, which is negative 15. Plus 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And that is 38. So we went out. Now we got to come back in. Negative 1 times 2 times negative 3 is 6. 5 times 5 times 2 is 50. And 2 times 3 times negative 3 is negative 18, which is 38. Subtract. The determinant of that matrix is 0. Here's what I get for this one. On the way out, I get negative 41. On the way back in, 34, giving me an answer of negative 75.